You're listening to the Global Countdown, first broadcast on the briefing on the 14th of May.
This is The Briefing with me, Andrew Muller, and finally on today's show, it's time for the Global Countdown, too late for me, but save yourselves, etc. Joining us from the Eurovision host city, Vienna, is Monocle's Eurovision desk chief, Fernando Augusto Pacheco. Let's see if we can guess what this week's theme is. Fernando.
It's a big surprise, Andrew. It is actually Eurovision. Well, to be honest, last week was also Eurovision. I looked at my...
Have we not suffered enough, Fernando?
Well, maybe next week will be more Eurovision. Who knows? But last week I looked at the 5 favorite tracks to win the contest this year. And today, something slightly different. It's the 5 songs that I think you need to know as a human being, you know?
Just to back up there, Fernando, when you say you need to know, do you mean me personally, or are you sort of addressing our listeners as a generality?
Well, you and our listeners,
okay.
everyone in the world. Sorry, you know, I hope I made it clear. Everyone needs to know this.
Do we though? So these are basically your 5 favorite tracks. Is that a fair assessment?
I think they have a story to tell. I think they have something different about them.
So did the Big Bad Wolf. So these are distinctive and different. Well, I mean, I suppose we should... Are they ranked in any particular order? Are they in order of Fernando's favoritism, or alphabetical, or just how they came out of the hat? What are we doing here?
Maybe they are in order of how interesting they are. And maybe a little bit the background story.
Okay.
So we start to number 5.
Sure.
It's the UK. But Andrew, before I introduce the track, it's interesting because it does have actually a German title. And the artist has a really interesting name.
Sorry, Fernando, we fought 2 world wars to have the UK's Eurovision track have a German title. What are we doing?
And can you imagine if the UK actually wins with this track? That would be a fun story. But let's start to number 5. We'll play a clip of Look Mum, No Computer with 1, 2, 3.
If only there was a language that I could count in that would make me feel better. Oh yeah, oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, darling, I need something today. 1, 2, 3, with a slice of pepperoni. I bet you can own me, that'll be a pony. 1, 2, 3, I'm coming back to life. 1, 2, 3, got me feeling okay. 1, 2, 3, goodbye.
What would the Buggles have sounded like if Jim Steinman had produced them is a question literally nobody has ever asked.
Listen, what a brilliant track. And you know what I like about Look Mum, No Computer, Andrew, is that he absolutely loves electronic music. He is a lover of vintage synthesizers.
It's cleverly ironic, is what you're telling us.
Yeah, but is it? I mean, I wonder, because he even has a permanent exhibition in Ramsgate in Kent, which you can go, and then he's got all types of vintage electronica there, all those wonderful synthesizers, and one of his instruments is made of Furby toys. Do you know Furby, that little kind of...
I'm dimly aware of it as a phenomenon, Fernando, yes.
I used to have a Furby as a kid, so I'm glad the Furbies are making a comeback on Eurovision stage.
So just to be clear, his exhibition is in Ramsgate.
Yes, and I did not have the time yet to go, but after Eurovision is done, I'll definitely go for the first time in my life to Ramsgate.
I've never been to Ramsgate, Fernando, and the odds have not just then decreased. In number 4, what do we have?
Number 4, I say it's interesting. I mean, but we've seen this before, but it's been a while since we've seen that. It's a slice of nostalgia from Italy. Let's have a listen to Sal da Vinci with Per Sempre Sì.
Si accenderà la musica e qui ti aspetterò, il più grande giorno ti regalerò. Saremo io e te per sempre, legati per la vita. Che senza te non vale niente, non ha senso vivere con la mano sul petto.
Fernando, you're using the word interesting a lot.
Yeah, but I think the song. Well, I don't think it warms my heart. Basically, he's from Naples. You can imagine the song being played in a Neapolitan wedding. And to be honest, the whole staging of the song is actually a celebration of an Italian wedding. So there's a lot of drama. It's a little bit sexy, and it's a little bit retro in a good way, And do you know that he was born actually in New York because his father was a singer and he was touring, and then in the middle of the tour.
So his father was a singer, but he decided not to follow the family trade. Is that what you're telling us?
Well, he does. I mean, he's on the Eurovision stage, a top 10 favorite to win the trophy tonight. Well, not tonight, on Saturday.
At number 3, Fernando.
Number 3, we can always count on Cyprus for some hip-shaking fun. Let's have a listen to Antigone with Yala.
Fernando, a musicological observation, if I may. Not that there's any reason why it shouldn't, being from Cyprus in the Eastern Mediterranean, but I detect quite strong, more Middle Eastern vibes to that one.
Absolutely.
Just to be clear, that's not me saying I liked it. I thought it was dreadful, but I am saying there are quite strong Middle Eastern vibes.
Yes, but Antigone, she is part of this mix. She was actually born in London. She has kind of Greek Cypriot origins from her family. And I think some of our British listeners might recognize her as well for being a contestant on the reality show Love Island. She did not find love in that island, but maybe she's finding love here in Vienna at the Eurovision stage. And, I'm not joking, actually, Andrew. Sometimes I do want a song on Eurovision that you need to just shake your hips. There's nothing behind. It's just about hip shaking, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Okay, does she have actually any chance of winning this or not?
Well, I think he'll be unlikely, if I'm being polite, but I think he will do well. He might end up at the top 15 at least. Okay,
well, I know at number 2, Fernando, because I do have the running order in front of me, we're professional like that, is the entry from one of my favourite places to have reported from in Europe. Big hello to all our listeners in Lithuania.
Well, and big hello to Lithuanian listeners. I admire your country musically because all your Eurovision entries.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about the music, Fernando. I said I enjoyed it as a place to report from. Great architecture, terrific food, terribly friendly people. But let's reserve judgment their contributions to popular song.
They're forward-thinking musically, okay? Let's have a listen and I'll tell you why. This is Lion Seca with Solo Quiero Más.
Fernando, the studio ceiling's just fallen down.
It's powerful stuff, don't you think, Andrew? And it's interesting because, he's dressed with some kind of silver glitter painting and doing a lot of dramatic faces during the performance of the song. I don't know, it feels art to me. I mean, and I was reading that he does like visual poetry, this intersection between visual poetry, dance, art, music. You can see that on stage. I know you have probably a smirk on your face right now, but it's true.
Yeah, I wish him all the very best with it, Fernando. At number 1, which means this is the number 1 song that you, our Eurovision desk chief, Fernando Augusto Pacheco, think we should be paying more attention to, is...
Not gonna lie, I do like a little bit of a controversy, a positive one. From Romania, they are back in the competition. We have Alexandra Captanescu with the song. Some people were shocked by the title, but let's have a listen. Choke Me.
You ever betray me? You are to obey me, are you not?
The song,
I lo-
the song is called "Choke Me If Only Somebody Would," etc.
Well, it's not necessarily about choking, and it's more about
Is it more of a metaphor, Fernando?
it's a metaphor for an intense relationship, but I love how she mixes like rock and roll and electronic music as well. And I was reading a little bit more about Alexandra. She actually plans to be a medical physicist. So it's either this or medical physicist. So it's interesting where her career is heading after that.
Yes, well, either pop music's loss is going to be medical physics gain or potentially the other way around. Fernando, just before we let you go, you are actually in the Eurovision city of Vienna. How are 48 hours or so out the vibes?
It's all very exciting, actually. I'm here actually in the press area. So maybe you can hear a little bit of noise in the background. I'm looking forward for the second semifinal tonight. A lot of interesting countries will be there, like Denmark, Romania. I mean, let's see if Romania actually is going through or not. So yeah, I'm very excited. And Vienna is a lovely city, as you know, Andrew.